Back in E3 2014, Nintendo announced an untitled Zelda game for Wii U, slated to be released the following year. I was 9 at the time and can still picture my shocked face when I first saw Eiji Aonuma snap his fingers to show
The new world of Zelda.
Over time, I still had my hopes up ready for the release date to be announced for that sweet 2015. It happened, but was soon delayed again indefinitely. It wasn't until October of 2016 that I would get my next dose of excitement with the announcement of the Nintendo Switch console, as well as teasers for a new Splatoon, Mario, and of course, Zelda game. As you can imagine, 11-year-old me had been waiting for this moment for what felt like centuries, so when the Switch presentation happened in January 2017, I shared my reactions with these people. On March 3rd, I got my hands on the game, and I was immediately in love. Like I'm sure many of us watching did, I played this game until my thumbs had fallen off. Within the span of 3 days, I went from walking out that great plateau with no clue what to do, to facing Ganon one-on-one at Hyrule Castle. During that time, I got invested deeper and deeper into the lore and small gameplay details that had this game constantly locked in my head. Breath of the Wild's story is one of, if not the greatest stories in a video game I have ever played, and the way the game reveals key plot points is something that I still to this day can't fathom. When I found out that that old man was the old king of Hyrule before Ganon took control, that made my jaw drop. Talking to Impa as an old lady past her prime of being an absolute killing machine was also an interesting sight to see. And I believe that the memory scenes in the game carry heavy weight in making each player fall more in love with the characters. From both these and the Divine Beasts, we get to see who each champion was and their relationship with Zelda. Revali, being the secluded flying marvel he was a great contrast to Daruk, a comical member of the Gerudo tribe that brought laughs at me.
Right, little guy?
The relationship between Zelda and Link is one of the strongest aspects of the story. There's a fantastic video by Nintendo Black Crisis that goes over the love pattern between the two, as well as Mipha. It explains how Zelda's diary entries link to her feelings towards the reclusive hero. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this develops in Tears of the Kingdom, and hopefully getting to learn more about their relationship as the Princess of Hyrule and the Chosen One. The game is also brilliant at keeping the player constantly busy with new activities, interactions, or landscapes. The sheer size of the map in this game is still crazy to me, and there are areas of the game I had either forgotten about or had never even explored prior to making this video. I was recording footage of myself travelling via horse from one point of the map to another, and I ended up getting distracted numerous times by things I had seen never before in the game, even after over 300 hours of playtime. I spent over 30 minutes travelling to Hestu just to trade my Korok seeds, only to remember that after beating the game, he ends up in the Lost Woods. Knob. Breath of the Wild went on to win Game of the Year at the 2017 Game Awards, and after Jeff Keighley had a bit of difficulty reading,
the Game of the Year goes to
Eiji Aonuma, and this guy's name, accepted their award with a heartfelt speech that gave me a joyful feeling of nostalgia when watching it back. If you go back and watch all the demo footage and trailers of Breath of the Wild, I know that I am part of the millions of people that have those moments ingrained into myself. Seeing Shigeru Miyamoto ride Epona during the development of the game is a special sight and reminds me just how long I waited for this game to release. Even just going back and watching content from Smallant, Donkey, Zack Scott Games and more, these are all people I recall loving during this time, despite some questionable content. And as of recently, I've begun looking into the speedrunning community of the game. Some of the tricks they pull off, I don't even know. Someone tell me how they discovered this.
When's the last time you guys were on the monkey bars?
But guys, it's okay, I can do this. And the music in this game, oh my god, it's incredible. Each area has its own unique melody behind it that fits perfectly with the environment. The track Field is soothing, with a gentle grand piano playing over calming gameplay. Gerudo Town is a Middle Eastern style tune that I think I've rapped over more times than I care to admit. And who can forget Epilogue, a mesmerising ballad that sweeps you off your feet and makes you feel ready to tackle the world you're facing. I love games that use a grand orchestral sound throughout because they immerse you more into the world than I think gameplay and graphics can. It's something that I hope more games incorporate because I'm telling you they are missing out. Not many games have a soundtrack so perfect that I sometimes prefer it over listening to actual artists. And if you go on YouTube, there are hundreds of Breath of the Wild music compilations, ranging from relaxing balladry to laid-back lo-fi remixes. But there's no Malamar in the game though, very disappointed with that. Speaking of disappointments, I still have my issues with the game. The boss battles do feel copy and pasted and not as inventive as previous Zelda titles. I had only played Wind Waker before Breath of the Wild, and the contrast between the two games and their boss fights is clear. But looking at Tears of the Kingdom, it looks like that problem is going to be long gone. The game could also struggle on OG Switches with consistent frame drops in areas of the game like the Lost Woods, but this can also be fixed by simply emulating the game on PC, which looks gorgeous. I need Nintendo to start porting over their games. Imagine if it looked like this, what the fuck. Anyway, with Tears of the Kingdom just around the corner, I want to just say thank you Nintendo, for giving me and all the other fans out there a game that not only defined a great time in my life, but a game I will continue to praise for the foreseeable future. Thank you for watching.